right, hey everyone, Paul C. Torina here, nutritional therapist and nativist life coach out of Vegas, and here to talk to you about this upcoming weekend and how important it is to make all these different events that we got going on. Before I get into that, I just want to make a big plug for our cold and flu video, because I woke up this morning, I had a little bit of congestion, I had that itch in the back of the throat that's like that telltale sign that you're going to come down with something, and immediately rolled over. Well, I didn't roll over, actually went in the kitchen and got my stuff. Started taking my zinc lozenges. And by the way, we don't take those because of the zinc necessarily. It's because of what it does in the back of the throat and the nasal passage. I took 2 grams of vitamin C when I first got up. I'll probably do a couple more doses of that throughout the day. By the way, the body can assimilate maybe at max 2 grams at a single serving, and most of it gets excreted out, so that's why we recommend 2 grams. And then, of course, I douse myself up with essential oils and things. And and then also glutathione for upper respiratory stuff. And anyway, we have a video that goes through all that stuff, and we keep all this stuff stocked in the office. If you have anything come down or you want to be prepped for when you get sick, you have to catch it right when it starts. And if you do, like I did this morning, I mean, you're home free. Like, you're not going to be sick. It's crazy, right? Feel amazing right now. Just got a little bit of a, sounds like a hoarse voice or something, but I feel absolutely amazing compared to what I felt like this morning. So, all right. So this weekend, we've got our next progression meeting. It's focused on self-sufficiency. And what we mean by that, of course, is training the body to be self-sufficient with energy, being okay on its own, fat burning. So it's one of our favorite meetings because we get into a lot more details about what we can do to tweak the food and the macros and the timing and things like that to maximize fat burning. And then we also talk about food as far as it pertains around training. And then we get into a little bit of meditation. We're going to talk about meditation. We're going to do some practice meditation. And then also mineralized water, hydration guidelines, getting a little bit more into hydration. And then finally, we're going to talk about sleep and have our first biohacks for setting our circadian rhythms. So it's a super great meeting, super powerful. It does not matter where you are with things. If you feel like you've been 100% spot on, or you haven't been spot on, and you feel like you're experiencing like tremendous changes or very little changes, remember, this is a lifelong journey, and we're here to support each other. You committed to this 10-week program, and so we need you to come to these meetings. Like, these meetings are where it's at, all right? So wherever you're at with things, it does not matter. Just make this meeting, come get the education, come get the love and support, be a part of this thing, finish what you started, and we can't wait for it. It's going to be great. So, and of course, we have the 5:30 meeting on Monday as an option. Also, we need you to complete your grade sheets before coming into the meeting, and I'm going to go over how to do that at the end of this video. All right. Second, we have our first potluck of the year on Saturday at 4 p.m., and that's going to kick off with a group picture. And so we need all of you to make this a priority. This group picture is really not just about the SHT community. It's about this SHT 4.0 that's going on right now. So every single one of you, we need you there if possible. The rest of you can probably Photoshop in there. But if you've got other obligations, just try to move things around and at least make that beginning 4 p.m. kickoff so that we can do the group picture together, so that we can meet everybody. You can have a little bite to eat. You don't have to stay very long. Some of us will be there till 7 or 8 o'clock. But I mean, if you need to leave early, that's perfectly fine. So please make that a priority for us, all right? We'd love to see you there. We'd love to have you in this group picture, okay? And then Sunday, we have the Echo and Rid Butcher Shop tour, and we love this tour. So Sean's going to come out and give a little presentation on the butcher shop and all the different services they offer, all the different meats they offer, their quality levels. We'll have a ton of samples there. We should have bone stock. We should have beef jerky that's made specifically for us. We should have the bacon and everything that we all love. And so it's just a really, really great get together. Make sure that you check in by 2:45 for the 3 p.m. tour to start. And then, of course, if you're doing the makeup meeting on Monday, that starts at 5:30 p.m. Or not the makeup meeting, the second meeting on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Check in by 5:15. Oh, by the way, the Saturday meeting, make sure that you check in by 11:15 so we can kick that thing off at 11:30, okay? It's just going to be a great weekend. Jam-packed weekend, super fun, super awesome. And so now let's go over the grade sheet real quick. All right, so if you open up your folders and you go to the left-hand side, you should see the first page of your grade sheet looks like this. All right, let me see if you can see this. Hold on. First page of your grade sheet looks like, yeah, all right, so that's how close I got to get. So at the top of the grade sheet, make sure that you put your name and date, and then in that first box, you're going to list out all the different positive changes that you've experienced over the past 2 weeks, okay? And I want you to think about everything from major to subtle, physiological, mental, emotional, and everything in between, okay? So I know a lot of us are looking for physiological changes, but I also want you to start thinking about vibrancy and energy levels and mental clarity and brain fog and sleeping sleeping better and getting up easier and anything and everything that you could possibly think of. So give us a bullet point list of all the different things positive that have changed, or even if you've had other people tell you that they've noticed some changes in you, that would be great too, okay? In the second box, we want you to list out any concerns or questions that you may have. All right, so anything that seems like it's a nagging difficulty, something that's not budging, stubborn, or maybe some question that you have about anything that we're doing. All right, anything that you'd like to bring to our attention that you'd like us to address, and then we'll make sure that we reach out to you. We either respond directly to you, or if it's something that everyone would benefit from that's not too private, we could probably do a post or something like that. On the grading stuff, all right, so if we look at preliminary SHT. All right, so the way this works is some of these are going to be based on number of days. All right, some of them you can only get like 1 day worth. All right, so for instance, on the before pictures, if you did your before pictures, you would put a 1 because there's a maximum of a 1. It's worth 10 points, and you would do times 10, and in that right-hand column, you would put a 10 for 10 points. Okay, for measurements, if you did your measurements, that would also be a 1 times 10 equals 10 points. If you did the symptom questionnaire from the application, the SHT app, when you got that link, and I know some of us has some difficulties going through that initial piece of it, so that's not your fault. So we'll give you credit for it if you had difficulties with it, but if you were able to make it through it, that would be a 1 times 10 is 10 points. And then for the measuring progress, that is the page in your journal that is where you actually did the little star ratings, and then also came up with your custom ways to measure progress. If you did that, that would be worth 10 points. And then if you completed the hero section, the envisioning statements, and all that stuff, that's how that grading piece works. If we go down to the lifestyle section, all right, the lifestyle section, if you journaled, you would put the number of days that you journaled. So you have a maximum of 13 possible. But, if you did 7 days of journaling or 6 days or 10 or 11 or whatever, you would put that number of days times 5. And then in the right-hand column, you'd put your total points there. You would put, if you worked out at least 3 days a week, you could have a max of 6 days that you worked out over the past 2 weeks. And so you would put up to 6 times 5 for your total points in that right-hand column. And then every day that you drank water, you would put the number of days that you drank water, did your first water first thing in the morning, times 5, and that would be the points there. For the hero SHT, if you use power-ups at least 1 time a day, or at least 1 power-up a day, then you would get the number of days as a credit for power-ups, and that would be times 5. If you contacted an ally or updated an ally for any reason, that would be the number of days that you did that. If you did it multiple times in a day, you'd still only get credit for 1 time in a day, and that would be times 5. And then if you did a community post, like you posted in the application in Facebook, or if you attended a community event, then that would be number of days times 5. That's like a bonus section, by the way. All right, for the superhuman consciousness, SHT. All right, what that means is if you did your priming and practice in the morning, and right now what we're looking for, remember, is to find your quiet little ritualistic spot. You sit down, you do a little bit of gratitude, you sit in silence for 5 minutes, set your timer, and then you read through whatever envisioning material you'll have. That would count as a day of doing your priming and practice, and so you would put the number of days times 10. And then for the number of days that you were 100% diligent with your food, that would be the food SHT. Then you would put the number of days times 20, and that would be worth the most points. Okay, if you weren't 100%, but you were close to it, but you just didn't get the 100%, there's no points for that. So the breath, beats, and energy we will do in class together, and I think that's about it. We love you guys so much. We really do. There's so much love and support here for you guys. Questions, comments, concerns, bring it up to us, and we'll see you here soon. Okay, love you guys.